Hey YouTube, it's Crystal, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my makeup brush collection. I would probably have to say that that is my most liked piece to beauty is makeup brushes. And I don't know if it's the fact that I just love looking at them, I love trying different brands and things like that, but one of the first videos I did on YouTube was about Sigma brushes, and my initial brush set was the Sigma Essentials brush kit, which came with, I can't remember exactly how many brushes came with it, but I really enjoyed their brushes, so I moved on to other types of Sigma brushes and tried them out. But I've also branched off into other brushes as well. I'm gonna start off with the Sedona Lace. I picked up the Sedona Lace Vortex set, which I haven't used every single brush in it, but I've used a lot of the eye brushes. I also use like the highlight brush, but mostly the eye brushes because I was tending to use my Sigma brushes for my face a lot of the times. But then I also have the Midnight Lace set, which are the pink and black brushes. These are the ones that are, you can use them for face or eye brushes, but I typically use the ones that I had for concealer and things like that. I haven't used them as far as like for shadows and different things, but I tend to go for the 224 a lot because it's similar to the what is it by Sigma, the P86. And I'm sorry, this is dirty, but these two are similar, and these are ones that can be used for under the eye concealer to get like right up in the crevices of the eye. So I really like this set, and I picked it up when they had like a sale and you could get brushes for like 50% off, so that was a good deal, and you get 7 brushes, so that was really good. So I own these, and I also own the face brush set from Sedona Lace, which is the Midnight Face, and it's pretty much just like the Sigmax brushes that they sell. And some of these I haven't used, of course, as always, but they have an angled brush, they have a flat top kabuki, which I've used, and to me it's very similar to the Sigma P80 that everybody loves, but for a cheaper price. But it buffs in foundation really well, cream or liquid. Then they have a round top kabuki, which looks like this. I haven't used, but these brushes are soft but at the same time very dense. And then you have your angled kabuki brush. So this is the 602, the 480, and the 928. Sorry, my phone's going off. But I really enjoy those brushes. I'm not sure if, I know there's another one. Oh, and you get a small kabuki brush, which looks like this. And I've been using this for powder lately, like setting powder, and I also used it under the eye for setting powder not too long ago, and I really like it. It's a nice brush. So those are the Sedona Lace brushes, and I also have the Sigma Mrs. Bunny kit, and I've used a couple of these. Some of these I haven't used yet because I've always reverted back to the ones that I have with my essential kit from Sigma. But you get a large powder brush, and I just thought that these were really pretty with the pink and blue, and they're just really nice brushes. And you also get cup holders with it, so that's a plus. Some other like random brushes. I have a Bdellium Tools 958, which is great for blending out foundation, liquid foundation. It's pretty dense, and also blush, like blending out your blush and contour together so it doesn't look, to blend out the sharp lines basically. So that's like a random blush brush. And this brush right here is, okay, of course my camera would stop recording to say that my card was full, so I had to delete some stuff off of that. I could have just switched cards, but why do all that? But this brush right here I haven't used in a while, but I did have it in one of my favorites videos, and this is from Crown Brushes, and it's a pretty much a rounded kabuki, which is great for buffing and foundation. And I really enjoy it. It's short and fat, so you can just like really get all of the makeup in a controlled fashion, which I really enjoy. I also have a couple of e.l.f. brushes, and this is the powder brush that everybody raves about, which you can use for foundation, powder, whatever, and it's a great brush for $3. So you should always have some of these just lying around. Okay, I also have some Real Techniques brushes, and lately I have been using the Famous buffing brush to buff on foundation, and I really enjoy it. It's like it goes flat into your face and you can really get in there, and this comes with 4 other brushes, I believe, in a little kit, but I basically use this one. And I believe they have a contour brush, but I don't know where it is right now. But I really like this brush. I used it today on my face, and I used almost like a creamy type foundation. Well, it's not a foundation, it's a CC cream from Cover FX, their new CC cream, which is really nice, I would have to say. And also I have the big powder brush, which I really enjoy. Great for all over the face, and it's almost like on the same level as the Sigma brush. It's a little bit wider as far as softness. The Sigma one is a little bit denser, but they both have synthetic fibers, so those are really great brushes. And look at the size difference. I have to just point this out because I was noticing it, but look at the size difference from the Real Techniques and the Sigma powder brush. I don't know why Sigma made this brush so huge, but it is what it is. And oh, and I can't forget the Expert face brush, which a lot of people like. Also good for foundation. You probably must use it for any type of technique that you would like to, but I've used it for foundation mostly. Okay, moving right along. These 2 containers are pretty much my most used brushes right here. So I have my Sigma flat kabuki, the F80, which I use the majority of the time. I have my contour brush, this is where it was, from Real Techniques. I also have a small contour Sigma brush, which I use if one of the other is dirty. And then the tapered kabuki by Sigma, which is the F86, which is great for concealer under the eye because you can get all the way down and it blends it really good even if you just pat it in. So that's a real good one. I have the Sigma tapered highlighter, which is the F35, and it's just to highlight under the eye across above the cheekbone. And next is my eye brush favorites, and majority of the time when I use eye brushes, I use my Hair and Makeup Addiction eye set. And I had the initial eye one, not the new one that they've come out with, but I had the old one initially. And I always use the Queen, which is this brush right here, for under the eye concealer. Blends it out really well. It's nice and dense. It's short, so you can have a controlled hand when you use it. I also use the Hair and Makeup Addiction. This is the blender, I believe. I also use this for in my crease to blend out my crease. It's very also pretty, it's dense, but it's fluffy enough to where you can really buff out the crease. What else is in there from there? I'm missing a couple. Oh, I dropped it, sorry. And this is the shader, which is great for packing on color on the lid. And you also have an eyeliner brush, which I haven't really used that much yet. But those 3 are mainly what I use. The shader, the Queen, and the blender, which are the ones that I reach for the most from Hair and Makeup Addiction. Okay, here comes a little one to make noise with again. I also have my famous MAC 130, which I love to death. It's dense and it blends concealer up under the eye wonderfully. I mentioned this in a favorites video, and I think I've mentioned it in a lot of other videos as well. I also have the Real Techniques setting brush, which you could use for powder under the eyes. A lot of people use Real Techniques brushes for different reasons. And then I have the main brushes from the Essentials kit, which is the eye shader from Sigma, which is the E55, the angled shading brush in an E70. I also have the Marc Jacobs The Face brush, which is great for foundation. I've been using this lately, and also is at an angle and like sharp at the top. It goes up at an angle, so you can easily go in for a cream contour or anything like that. And also the NARS Ita brush, and there's not too much to say about this. It's wonderful. It's great for your contour and blending it out, going around the forehead, different things like that, contouring the nose. It's just an amazing brush. Okay, I had to pause that for a second because of course a little one came in to disturb the process. I also have the Smudge E21, which I usually go under the lower lash line with this brush. Then I have a Bdellium Tools 714, which is a flat liner brush, and a lot of the times I use this for underneath my brows. If I want to do concealer, if I have some stray hairs and I want to cover them up, I'll use this brush. And oh, and I can't forget to mention the Sigma E25. I have a couple of these. I even have an extra one that's not open yet, but this is pretty much compared to the MAC 217, which gets right into the crease and blends out any kind of shadows, and it has white hairs. And granted, they get dirty quick, but you can clean them and they're fine. So that's, oh, and not to mention, Sedona Lace has a brush which is comparable to the E25 in the MAC 217, and it's the EB09, which is really good, and it also has white hairs. And a lot of the time on Sedona Lace website, this brush is always sold out, but it's comparable and cheaper if you guys would like to venture out with that. Next, I'm going to go into some brushes that I recently picked up. Of course, I had to go to Sigma, and I was just dying to try some of their brushes that are rose gold, well, copper, as they would say. Oh, and I forgot to mention this brush. This is the Extravaganza Tapered Blending, the E40, which is gorgeous. I love the Sigma brushes, and these look even better. I just love the rose gold. They're fancy, things like that. And besides, I like collecting brushes. I also picked up the E35, which is comparable to one of the MAC brushes. I think it's the 239 maybe, I'm not sure, but this is what this one looks like. It's a fluffy blending brush with white bristles. And I tried to get some of the brushes that I didn't have with the Essentials kit, and not to mention their brushes are more expensive now than they were when I picked them up in the beginning. I got them back in, was it 2012? I'm not sure, but they were cheaper, but now they're more expensive, so it's best to get them when you get a sale or when they have 20% off, things like that. I also picked up the Small Duo Fiber, which is the F55. You can use this to blend out cheek colors or anything you would like. I picked up another E30, which is their pencil brush. I really love these for detailing, like in the outer V or different things like that. You can go under the lash line, different things with this brush. I already have that. I already have that in the E40, but the other ones are brushes that I didn't have. And this one is the Short Shader, which is the E20. You can also use this for under the lash line, smudging out liner, different things like that. And lastly, from the copper is the E50, which is the large fluff brush. You can go under the brow bone. You can pack color on the lid. It's kind of large, but hey, you can find uses for brushes pretty much anywhere. Some other brushes that I've recently picked up, I still have them in the packaging, are some of the Wayne Goss brushes. And some of you are like, oh, they're expensive, but the quality of the brushes are really nice, and they're handmade, not machine made, so that's another plus. I'm trying to get my hair under control over there. But this is the holiday brush that he came out with, and it's a larger brush to one of the brushes that he came out with in his set, and it's like absolutely amazing. It is so soft, it feels wonderful on the skin, and these are only limited edition, so if you wanted to try them out, you have to get it now. And oh, before I go, I wanted to mention these little beauties. I got these from Sephora a while ago, but it was in a little kit, and it's a Hello Kitty brush set, an eye set, and has a little Hello Kitty at the bottom. I don't know how you would store them, but you have to store them like this, of course, because you're not going to store them like this. But it came with a flat shader brush, a blending brush, and then a liner brush. and they were packaged really well, and I really like these. I use these today on the eyes and they did amazingly. One more thing I want to mention are a brush set that you can find on eBay. A lot of people love hair and makeup addiction brushes. I'm one of them. I love their eye brushes. But this company is called Everyday Minerals, and this set came from off of eBay, and it was $30, and you got 10 brushes. You get short kabukis. They're still in the pack. Short kabuki brushes. You get a flat one and you get a rounded one, and you get eye brushes that pretty much are similar to the hair and makeup addiction brush. This is the Everyday Minerals brush, and this is the hair and makeup addiction brush, and they are very similar, if you guys can tell. The size and everything, they're similar, and they also feel similar to the touch. But if you guys can't afford hair and makeup addiction, or you just don't want to pay that much but you want a nice quality brush, I would recommend trying eBay. I've seen a lot of people say they found dupes to the hair and makeup addiction brushes on there, so it's just something that you want to try. eBay has good stuff. So, oh, one more thing. I found these little jars at Target, and they were on clearance, and I figured I could use these for my brushes whenever I move and get a house where I can have one makeup room where I have all my stuff in there where I film and do different things like that. But I just thought these were really, really pretty. And they also had a really big one. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but this is huge. It's like bigger than my head. But I just thought it was nice, and it's a little too big for some of the face brushes unless I put this Sigma brush in it. Then it somewhat fits, but if you packed it with brushes, they would stick up like this. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but it was only $5, so I mean, I could find uses for it anyway. And these are the smaller ones. So that's pretty much it. I'm probably going to have some other things, because I also have like some brushes that I picked up from Coastal Scents, I think. Some eye brushes, but I wanted to try them out first. But that's pretty much my makeup brush collection, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or anything like that, please comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.